Hey, you guys, welcome to Splinterlands TV. It is I, the Psy, and we are going to talk about unbinding today. And the cards I'm actually choosing to unbind because, as just like a small guy who's been rolling around with a little bit of DECB for a while, I've been looking for a way to kind of spend it, and this seems like a great way to do so. And if we take a look at how much time there actually is left to unbind things, they have an awesome timer now. Let's go to my own cards and click it. You'll see that we're getting close to the end of the first unbinding phase. We've only got 3 days, 21 hours, 50 minutes, and 0 seconds left before it's going to go up to the next cost modifier. So obviously we want to try and do most of our unbinding in the X10 to make sure we get the best value. So that being said, I'm eager to spend that DECB, my 93K. And I'll kind of just let you guys know, again, non-financial advice. I'm just letting you guys know the way that I'm looking at things for my unlock. Now, normally I'd go and I'd say things like, and we are going to use this as an example. I know DECB is DECB, and it doesn't fluctuate in value the way that True Dark Energy does, right? Because it's soulbound. Like, it's not like I can use it on anything else. But the possibility of gaining or losing the dollars is still reflected in Unbound DEC. So right now it's sitting at 0.0007328 is what we're going to use as like our number. And I just want to use that multiplier to find out whether or not it's worth it, and to kind of illustrate how I've gone through my calculations to decide what I do and don't want. So, I mean, I know one of the cards that I do want is going to be Izzyar. I mean, no ifs, ands, or buts. If there's a card that's going to make it in the long run, it's going to be our boy Izzy here, or our girl Izzy, I should say, right? So for instance, she's going at 424. And if I wanted to unlock her right now, it would be the 5,000 DEC. And that means that based on our calculation, we have to look at that DEC as being worth $3.66. So every time you're unlocking her, right now, at that cost of .0007328, it's costing $3.66, right? And they're selling right now for, as you can see, 424. That's a pretty decent spread, like by percentage. And then once those dry up, it goes up to like basically 5, then 6, then 8, and 9. So you can see that people are basically betting on Izzyar being a good one, and so am I, especially since you pretty much need 6 of them to give it murder, which is like it's cream of the crop spot, right? So Izzyar is one of the ones that I'm personally going to unlock. In fact, you know what? I'll put my DEC where my mouth is here, and I'll unlock the 4 that I have on this account right now. Don't forget to choose DECB, you guys. I don't know why it's not letting me do multiples at the same time. What, I can only do one at a time? Come on. Come on. There we go. Here's the release soulbound cards. Quantity of 4, 20,000 DECB. I'm in for that. I'm like in on Izzyar to the point when I'm probably going to unlock 2 more Izzyar from my old botted accounts using real DEC to make sure that I have enough that if I wanted to combine into a 6, I could. But S-Plex right now, which is what I use for renting out my cards, so yay, Izzyar, doesn't support the new reward cards. So since I can't use a bot to kind of rent them out, I think that what I'm actually going to do right now is I'm just going to hold these guys as 1 stars as I wait for these unlock costs, like we were talking about, to go up. I don't think I'm going to combine them. I don't think I'm going to sell them. I think I'm just going to kind of hold them, you know? The other cards I'm looking at right now is also Aves, because it's got the weapons training. So our boy, this one I can't say, our good old boy Aves, when I look at him for sale, he's 414, and we already know what the price is, right? 366. So it's got a not bad spread based on the cost of DEC right now. But at the same time, when we go and you look at for renting him, power down, you can see that it's like all rented out in 4 stars, and people are still renting him for at 3 stars for significantly more than 1 stars. But even 1 stars are looking good at 9 per for the unlock. And I think that this is another one of those cards with all weapons trainers that people only need a 1 star at like the worst case scenario. You know, you can rent a 1 star Aves, have a weapons trainer here, and still feel good about the fact you have a weapons trainer. So I think that Aves might be another one that I unlock. Again, you can see after these 4s dry up, and a lot of them are by the same person, right? Once Oinker 2 is done, and I guess Bad Moaf is done, things start going up pretty I can't say substantially like they were with Izzyar, but things start going from a 4 to a 5 to a 9. And again, I think that it could be one of those points when the more the later things go with the unlock, obviously the less we're going to see unlocked, is this truly like the most we're going to see of these unlocked, period? So this guy I'm not going to unlock quite yet. I might unlock one or two of them in the future. Look how many I've got, right? But I'm not going to unlock him like on the show. Izzyar, I'm for certain of. Aves, I have to decide how many. Same with Kulu. So Kulu, I'm also going to be unlocking. I don't know about how many I'm going to combine. You can see that the 4 stars go for 80 and the 4 stars of Izzyar go for like 200. So that's something I look at as well. You see a 3 stars seems to be a sweet spot. I'd probably only combine actually up to a 2 star, to be honest with you. I think that that's probably the best spot of all. But all in all, I think that it's another one of those ones that's going to sell for, let's see, CHLRV times 5,000. So right now the unlock cost is 366, and it's actually got some good sale at 410, so it's got a pretty good spread. But you can see that it goes up after the 4s, and Krakenorm and some of these other guys get out. It goes from 4s immediately up to 640, then 10 buckaroons. So I think that this is one that I am going to unlock right now. I'm going to unbind these 3 that I have. Like I said, if nothing else, it's going to allow me to combine them into a 2 star. So I've unbound them using DECB. Because even as single BCX, again, it's a weapons trainer. I think that all weapons trainers are good, but I'm probably not going to unlock the bad ones like Ava, for instance. You know what, I'll probably unlock a few of these Aves as well. I got to give it another moment to think about how many. Same with Phyrexian Hero. The thing with Phyrexian Hero is I don't know if I want to just unlock him or if I want to maybe just like buy a few. If I was talking about using real DEC, not DECB, I would just like get a few, possibly. But I don't even know if I'd even unlock this guy. And if I did, it wouldn't be beyond like the 1 stars, because it would just be someone to have to give weapons training to, you know? It would just be someone to have to give his weapons training to. Power down, 94. Like, it's not like he's bad. Look how few are on the market too, right? And it looks like the sweet spot might be a 2 star. Why is that? For the 4 attack? I don't understand. I would have thought the sweet spot would have been 3 star, but regardless, he's another one I'm going to have to give some thought to, along with Ava. Skok, though, is so good. Like, he's just really good once he gets the Resurrect, because then you can, I mean, it's Skok. Everyone who plays with Skok knows how good he is. He's a weapons trainer on top of that and everything as well. He gets the Resurrect, so he's a good one. He's $4 right now as well. I've got a bunch of those guys, at least 2. I'm probably going to end up unlocking a couple Skok as well, because he's a weapons trainer. But aside from that, like, do I want to unlock a few Drybone? Like, they're good, but at the same time, like, they don't rent out that high, and there's a lot of them that are available. I don't know if I want to put, like, the DECB into it when I can just get more Izzyars unlocked, you know? Or unlock more Kulu. I guess I've unlocked all my Kulus. I mean, if worst case scenario comes to worst case scenario, I could start unlocking it. And getting the Dusks and the Aves, and I guess Drybone is a Newt, so people do love neutral. So I'll probably end up unlocking a few of these Drybones. Oh, I don't have any to even unlock. Oh, that's right, I had to buy one off the market and combine it. Just crazy, just crazy. But yeah, so that's it for the rares. Now, this might be kind of shocking to you, but here's the way I'm looking at it right now. Okay, so here's the legendaries, here's the epics. I don't feel like I want to pay the price to unlock any epics, I'll be honest. So they're selling for 86, and if you go on the unlock on these guys is going to be 1000 DECB. So let's take this CHLRV X1000. That right now is 73 cents. While I think that it could be a good deal overall, the 73 to 86, I just have no confidence in people purchasing them or renting them. And that's the reason why, like, I like the Kulu Masterminds and the Izzyars and the Aves and things like that of the world, because there's some desirability around them. Like, it's not that these are bad cards, but I don't want to end up unlocking things that I feel like in the long run just, you know, are just kind of meh. You know, I don't want to say meh, but I mean the cost to benefit ratio, the cost to the odds of them being rented or being able to be resold, I feel are just a lot lower on these epics than they are on other things. Same with these rares. Like, sure, I don't mind going and maybe unlocking some of these guys over here, you know. But when I go and I look at their for rent status and everything, power down, look how it, like, I just don't see the value in it when they're renting for like 20 for a max, or I guess if those are all sold out, maybe 30 for a max, you know. I know that maybe new players might end up wanting them, but I just don't see it. Except for this guy. obviously. So Venari Markstrat's one that I am going to unlock. Just because you need a 1 BCX, he gets Martyr Look, he dies immediately. He's probably like the best one. If there's any that I'd want to like literally stock up on, it would probably be him. Because 200 DEC right now breaks down to times 200 equals, breaks down to 14 cents, right? So for sale, so wow, he's being sold. He's got such a slim margin on him at 16 cents before he hits up to 18. You know what I'm actually going to do? Because it's like so close with the unlock on it. I'm actually going to buy these 16 centers. Like, this is probably the one card that as a like sideboard reward card that if any of them end up being just like wanting to be unlocked and sold, oh, I'm up to almost $5 worth of them, then this is going to be the one. And the spread is just so low right now. So Oink and Blue Wolves are like, hey, I'm going to unlock them for 16. Which is pretty much like unlock right now. It's 15 cents to unlock him. He's making a penny on each one. I am actually going to buy these with DEC. I am actually going to just buy those, you know, and I'm probably going to unlock my own using DECB. That's how confident I am in Venari Markstrat being a good card. I mean, we all know that Venari Markstrat's a good card. Now, the thing that might stand in the way of Venari Markstrat is the fact that everyone only needs one, right? So that's what works for it, is the fact that everyone only needs one. But that's also what works against it, is the fact that everyone only needs one, right? So you're not going to, people probably aren't going to be going out and buying like a max level 115 Venari Markstrat when the individual BCX of the Markstrat are going to probably end up being a little bit expensive, right? So that's kind of where I run into my issue with the Markstrat. And not only that, but if you only need one BCX of it, here's where we kind of come down to my next little thing. Yay, Unbound Rats. And I'm not going to combine any of these guys. If you only need one BCX, why wouldn't you get one BCX of the Rat? You know, in gold foil. And when you look at gold foil, you can see that one BCX is $3.92. So if we go ahead and we look at the unlock cost, okay, so the unlock cost of these guys is the same as a legendary, right? So you have to choose. Are you going to unlock a single gold foil Venari Markstrat, or are you going to unlock a legendary at this point, right? Like, which one of these do you think is going to have the better chance of appreciation, if that's the way we're looking at it, right? Because this guy's going to cost you $366 to unlock, and he's selling for $392. So he's like the only one that's actually selling, and look at how dry the market is. So he's actually the only one that's selling for like, well, I guess he's not the only one selling for higher, but I mean, that's a pretty good spread with the few that are actually available here. And look, he's $392, $393, then back up to here. So I mean, literally 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's like 8 available that are at like an affordable level before it's all done. And for some reason, I don't know why, I just keep getting these guys. Like I just kept getting gold foil Markstrats like over and over and over. So this is one of those ones that I am confident in. Like, it's just kind of like, like what I want to do though, look how much it's going to cost me. It'll cost me 95,000 DECB. So it's like, again, do I want to blow my load unlocking like all of these Venari Markstrats, or do I want to spread out a little bit more, you know, and get get some of those other legendaries unlocked? And while it's nice to go and be able to unlock this volume of gold foil Markstrats and to have them in my collection, because let's face it, if I don't unlock them at probably 10x, they're probably never getting unlocked. And if they never get unlocked, then I mean, who knows what's going to happen to this price. But I also have to take into account what are most players, and this is one of the things that I think we really need to look at, right? Is most people, if we want to get like a large group of people playing this, most of them aren't going to be like whales. They're not going to be like, I need full gold foil decks, I want gold foil of everything. No, they're probably going to be the type of person that goes and just gets one of these guys. You know, they'll just be a regular person that's like, oh, you know what, I'll pick up this Markstrat, and maybe it ends up being 25 cents when they go and pick it up, or $1 even. But they're like, I'm happy to pay $1 for this one Markstrat that I need, versus at that point in time, that appreciation could be like $10 for a gold foil. They'll be like, most people, right, will probably be like, oh, I can get much more value out of just getting my single non-gold foil Markstrat, even though it's got a good multiplier, versus the gold foil. So I've got a lot more faith in the non-gold foil Markstrat than I have in the gold foil Markstrat, even though I think there's going to be a lot of desirability for the gold foil Markstrat based on having new players come in and what are they going to ultimately want to purchase, right? But that's kind of the way that I'm looking at it. There isn't really anything else that I think that I'd actually want to unlock, to be perfectly totally honest with you guys, right? I mean, the way I look at it again is I want, and like we go to commons, and again, same thing. Like this Coastal Sentry's close. The Fungus Flinger is also close. I might unlock a few individual BCX of Fungus Flingers, right? Let's see. How many do I have that I can unlock? 248 of them. Yeah, like I'm definitely not going to unlock 248. Like I might unlock 20 or something like that. Because again, if we look, they're all 4 cents. Everything's 4 cents. So there's like, 4 cents and 5 cents. You know, maybe Fungus Flinger will go ahead. We'll unlock a few of those guys as well. But same with Coastal Sentries. I might unlock a few of those guys. This is looking quite tempting actually for a 100 BCX, which is I think where people want to get it, right? Because it gets piercing at that point in time for the $4. And let's just do this, all right? Let's look at one more. Let's look at this common, because this is a good common that people might want. So the unlocking value on the common is 50 times 100 ends up being once more 5,000 BCX times the multiplier of 0007328. You're looking at 366. So even when you're going and you're selling it for that $4, you're making like what? 366, 34 cents? So they're making 34 cents on this unlock, then losing that 34 cents basically to market fees, right? Because they're going to lose all that to market fees at this price. So again, this looks like a good buy actually, because where else are you going to get 100 individual BCX of it? You know, you might be able to get it at 4 cents, but once it's 5 cents, then it's $5. And I mean, we got some people who want 10 and 50 cents for this guy. So, I mean, I feel like this one might be another one of the ones that are good for unlocking. But honestly, the way that I have to look at things and the way that I suggest you look at things isn't just like, I'm going to unlock these things because everyone's going to want everything. And as I always have, I've been saying this for forever. Good cards will hold some, not financial advice. Good cards hold value because people will desire and want them because they're good. And bad cards, I don't care if there's only 1,000 of them. Unless you're a collector, people don't want them because they're bad cards and you're not winning with them. People want to win, and in order to win, they'll purchase the cards that will let them win. People don't want bad cards, okay? And that's why, again, I'm thinking like, what do these cards see a lot of use? And sure, Imperial Knight sees some use and stuff. Ooh, 330 for this? That's below unlock, right? That's actually below unlock. Let's just double check. Yep, because unlock is 366. So when if I were to buy this right now, he would actually lose 36 cents plus the market fees. This guy, Bad Mofo here. And what's a 100 do? It's just more healing, eh? So this guy here, if I was looking to buy him, I'd be buying the 60 BCXs, is what I'd really be looking at. If I could get a few 60 BCXs, because that's what I think ultimately, again, the littler people would want. They'd be like, I want him to heal. Am I going to rent or buy him? I probably can't afford a 400 BCX because, I mean, $15 for a card. You have to understand, in terms of a non-crypto whale, $15 for a card is something. It's not nothing, you know? But could you do 330 for a card? Probably, you know, a lot of people could go down there. And that's why, again, with like the league system, the way it's designed, I think eventually we'll start flushing out those missing league-like locations and spots and things like that, because more people will come in and be like, you know what, I can't even afford the 330 for a 6-star, but I will go ahead and I'll get like 60 BCX. Like, let's see what 60 BCX, 137. Like, let's see what 60 BCX would cost if I went up the cent here, right? Just for funsies to illustrate my point. 54, 5, 6, 7, 58, 59. Just to illustrate my point, they might be like, ooh, 330 is even still a little bit out of my reach, but I'll do 250, you know, even though it's like, oh, why wouldn't you pay the extra 80 cents? Well, not everyone wants to pay the extra 80 cents, you know, and that will still give them a healing 3 attack, 8 hit point Imperial Knight, which is absolutely serviceable in my mind, right? Against other people that rank. And you don't have to have every card at max. That's another thing that I think that people overlook is you can play with this card, and I play with a lot of Rebellion cards at just like the point when they're usable. But this card's totally usable. Like, is it its best form at 400? No, but totally usable in my mind as a 5-star at 60 BCX once it gets heal. Nothing wrong with playing this card at 60 BCX, you know? And like I said, I feel like new players joining the game are probably going to gravitate towards these 60 BCX, not towards the 400s, right? They're going to be getting in and they're going to be like, let's wet our toes at the 60 BCX point where it's $2.50, not $15. And that applies to like all of these guys. It applies to all of them. I guess this is another one worth mentioning, since he does get repair at level 1. So he might also be one that, you know, you unlock a couple of this guy, or you choose to unlock the gold foils. But again, it has to be a good card. This guy's Martyr. He's fine. I mean, Drybone Barbarian at level 1 doesn't really get much. And again, I want to look at it like the single BCX. Again, what are people going to be doing here? Selling them at a loss, it probably looks like. Yeah, selling 195 out of that's a loss, right? Because it's 366, so it's actually 720. This guy's taking a dip of a whole dollar to sell it that way, plus the fees, right? So this is the kind of thing that I wouldn't want to unlock under any circumstance, because it's probably not even getting the rentals out of it, which shows that there's no desirability for it, right? Desired cards, good cards, yes, unlock, people want. Bad cards, no one want, don't unlock. So that's kind of been my strategy there. We got 3 days left. Like I said, I'm probably going to have to pick and choose as to what I want. But in my mind, the big winners are the good cards that are legendaries that people are going to want, as well as the Marksrat, pretty much. Like that's the way I look at it. If you're gonna gamble and you're gonna take a chance, there's some proven winners that we've had throughout the modern season. Proven winners with a track record of winning. Those are the cards in the end that people will want, is the winning cards, the good cards. And while it may feel nice and you may be like, huzzah, I'm gonna for sale, I'm gonna unlock all these Terracious Hulks, because look, of all the cards right now on the market that we're looking at, it's the one that's selling for the most, $4.45. But what is the desirability of a Terracious Hulk? You could put it at $4, you could put it at like its own unlock cost, but what is the desirability really of the Terracious Hulk in the face of Izziar? And if we get like a bunch of people in, do you think that those people are going to be like, I'm going to rent everything? Or do you think they're going to be selective in what they choose to buy or rent? And that probably leaves Terracious Hulk and his ilk, you know, on the sideline. Sure, they might be expensive because there's few of them that are opened and unlocked, but that's because no one wants them, so they're not being unlocked at the same rate. And if you do want them, well, like I said, now's the 10x. Now's your chance. It's now or never, in my mind. I really feel like as time moves on, unless something really strange happens to these prices, that what we see on the market might be what we see. You know, and what's been unlocked might be what's been unlocked. Unless it's other people are playing it like me. And like I said with my Izzy, I'm just holding these Izzies. And to be honest, like I said, I've got some other accounts that I was previously botting. I mean, it was totally fine. It's not worth it for me to bot them anymore. But I might even do things like looking at my collection over here. I might even do things like unlock these guys that I have using real DEC. Like it's I think it's worth it for me to unlock like this Singleton Izziar in this account, and even the Singleton Izziar, I think that I have in this account as well, in the Silence 3 account. So just double check it. Ooh, I got 3 in here. But even so, those are the ones that I think that I'm really going to target. Especially, you know, the ones that you win with from playing Modern. Like, if you're not winning with the card now, and if you haven't seen the card in like the 2 years that they've been released, don't go unlocking. Not financial advice. Nothing I say is financial advice. But there's no point in going to unlock the card so that you can continue to not play with it. You know, it's like if they're just sitting there collecting dust in your binder, like unlocking them isn't going to brush that dust off. You know, you're not suddenly going to be like, I'm going to start to play with this bad card because I unlocked it, you know? So it can have whatever price it wants, but if there's no desirability for it, then I'm not unlocking it. There's desirability for Izziar, Kulu Mastermind. There's desirability for the Venari Marksrat, and that's where I'm sticking to because that's the safe spots. That's the stuff people want. And again, I say this all the time, and this applies also to cards that rotate from Modern to Wild, right? Everyone's like, Wild loses all of its value. No, don't ever invest in cards that will rotate to Wild. And while that does hold true, good cards are still good if they're good in Modern and still good in Wild, right? They don't just become bad automatically because they go to Wild. They lose a lot of their utility because now they can no longer be played in Modern format, only in Wild. But they're still gonna help you win in Wild if they're good and desirable cards. So I mean, I don't look at it the same way as maybe some other people do, as well as rotation, because that's happened in Magic for forever. it's losing its utility from Modern when it rotates to Wild, but that doesn't mean that a good card stops being good just because it's in Wild. And if it helps your bot win, then it helps your bot win. And I say bot in Wild because, I mean, that's what most people do in Wild. I don't know a lot of people who play in Wild. You bot in Wild. But if you get the wins because of the extra cards that you have that other people don't have, then, I mean, that's accomplishing the goal of giving value to the cards, right? If the cards aren't helping you win, then they have less desirability because they're helping you win less, you know? So that's my mini rant on my inclusion on this as well. Hope you guys liked it. Let me know what you guys are unlocking. Do you kind of feel the same way, or do you feel like unlocking in general is just kind of a scam at these rates and there's no point in doing it? Let me know in the comments. And until next time, it is I, the Sai, signing off. I'll see you guys around Praetoria. Peace, my friends. Take care.